Okay, so now we would continue with the summary of the story, what's happening. So in the next session, we have learned that how the entire family is mistreating Mrs. Pearson, and now how they have Mrs. Pearson and her friend, the fortune teller, who is a neighbor also, Mrs. Fitzgerald. They have changed their positions. Okay, Mrs. Fitzgerald has become Mrs. Pearson, and Mrs. Pearson has become Mrs. Fitzgerald. So now what is happening? As we know, Mrs. Fitzgerald's personality is a very strong personality. She is very confident, very assertive. She knows, how to let someone know that from where they are behaving in an incorrect manner. So now all the kids, so both the kids and the husband is being shown the true path. He where they are wrong and what would happen if they would not mend their ways. So now the kids are complaining. First of all, they are angry and now they are complaining. They are completely at a lack. They are completely not able to understand that what has happened to their mom. Ki, mom ko ye kya ho gaya? What has happened? They are considering that maybe their mother has become mad, or maybe she has had some accident that has affected her head. So all these kind of silly things are coming in their mind, because obviously they don't know what is the reality. So now the kids are trying that thing, emotional melodrama में इसको कह सकते हैं, fine. कि now they say to their mother that this is how you are behaving, because both of us work so hard 8 hours a day. So then Mrs. Pearson replies that you work 8 hours a day, but I work non-stop. Okay, mine shifts never end, but from now onwards, I have decided to take a break, and I will not work at weekends. And whatever is the work of house, everyone has to play their role. Everyone, has to give their share. Only then the family would be able to work on. So after hearing this, that she will enjoy the weekends and enjoy with us. So this is the first stance. Now she has her stance that she has started to take, and the kids are again surprised, confused. They are angered, they are irritated. Then the husband enters, and he is equally, surprised and annoyed. Gussa hai ki how come the wife is, eating and drinking and sitting in a relaxed manner, playing cards. So this shows, the domination, the male domination that women are being forced to, and silently how women, accept this kind of male domination. But now this male domination is going to get a reply, a very befitting reply by the wife. So she says that if he can drink, then she will also drink, and nobody will stop. So now she tells him that the husband is being made fun at the club where he used to go every time. So after hearing this, the husband becomes, very, very angry, and finally he realizes that yes, whatever the wife is saying is correct. And then in the later part of the story, he becomes quiet because he knows that he is being at the, error. Mrs. Pearson enters as Mrs. Fitzgerald, and being the mother and a dutiful wife she is, when she sees that how her children and the husband is being, insulted by Mrs. Fitzgerald, she requests Mrs. Fitzgerald to again change the bodies. Matlab, now she wants to become Mrs. Pearson and let Mrs. Fitzgerald be Fitzgerald. Mrs. Fitzgerald first of all says no, but then she agrees only on one condition. And what was that condition? She says that she says to Mrs. Pearson that she has to honor herself. यानी कि अगर आपको रिस्पेक्ट चाहिए, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, देन यू नीड टू रिस्पेक्ट योर सेल्फ एंड यू नीड टू बी स्ट्रिक्ट to your kids and to your husband, and you need to tell them what is your importance in their lives. So this was the lesson that she successfully teaches her family, and in the end what we see that Mrs. Pearson is sitting in a very amused manner. She's playing her favorite game, and now the kids are preparing the dinner. They are preparing the supper. So this is an indication that now maybe the things will change. So that was the message the playwright wants to convey कि at one point of the time, you need to be strict. You need to tell people your own worth, sense of self-worth. That is what the playwright wants to tell us. What advice does Mrs. Fitzgerald give Mrs. Pearson regarding being the boss in her family? So this is important for the words that she says to Miss Pearson. She encourages, first of all, to be the mistress of her own home. That is, to be in complete self-control. To take control, you can say. To take control of herself and to take control of family. She acquaints Mrs. Pearson with her rights in the family. So she is the one who tells. So this word is important, rights. Okay. बीइंग अ वुमेन सब यही सिखाया जाता है एज अ वुमेन कि आपकी ड्यूटीज क्या हैं, आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज क्या हैं. बट अगर आप ड्यूटीज और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज फुलफिल कर रहे हैं, देन यू शुड ऑल्सो नो योर राइट्स. Your rights, being as a mother, being as a wife, and the last but not the least, being as a human being. Okay, and the most important right is that you need to be respected. You need to be taken care of. You need to be spoken with love. This सबका basic right. She tells her husband and children should share her work. So the value of her work should be acknowledged by all her family members. क्योंकि जब वो खुद हाउस होल्ड वर्क में अपना शेयर देंगे, ओनली देन दे विल रियलाइज कि व्हाट पेन्स आर बीइंग टेकन अप, what pains are being taken up by the mother when she indulges in doing household work. Mrs. Pearson is realized of her status in the family. She is told to put her foot down and be the boss of her family. Her family is expected to learn to treat her properly. So this is the message that she used to give. Her family is expected to treat her properly, and they start doing it. Mrs. Pearson realizes her of her status in the family. तो ये मिसेस पियर्सन के लिए भी एक enlightening thing थी. Now she realizes that where she was lacking. And where was the lack? That she was only aware of her duties and responsibilities, and she was backtracking the rights that she has. So this was the lesson that Mrs. Fitzgerald taught her, and she needs to keep in mind. Now coming to few more questions. Mrs. Pearson says, I have joined the movement. What does she mean? So this is a line taken from the play itself, when her kids again put up some sarcastic questions ki, why have you changed, like what are the reason behind this change, and why you are not doing the regular household work, like she refuses to make tea for them, she refuses to make food for them. So on answering this question, she says, I have joined the movement. She said, I have joined the movement. While talking to her son Cyril, she further says that when he doesn't want to do something, he doesn't be it at home or office. तो मतलब जब what does she mean, that when the son doesn't want to do anything, जब उसे कोई काम नहीं करना होता था तो वो नहीं करना होता था, फिर whether be at home or at office, he was completely just neglected his duties. So now the mother says that now I have become just like you. If I don't want to do any work, I will not do. So this is again humorous, and this is again sarcastic. So this proves to be a kind of slap on the faces of kids. Now their eyes are opened. Now they can see that why and so, like what, why and where they were lacking. So that is why she said, I have joined the movement. So again it is written in a lighter tone, we can say, but with a message to the kids. From now onwards, they have to look after themselves. What advice does Mrs. Fitzgerald give to Mrs. Pearson after they change back personalities? So this is at the end of the play, when Mrs. Pearson requests Mrs. Fitzgerald, now let us just swap back our places. Then she says that she is agreeing. Although she was not willing, she said that let me continue this drama for some more time to teach your family a proper lesson. कि अगर और कुछ time तक ये drama हम करेंगे, तो now your family they would be aware that where they were wrong. But then when finally she agrees on to the request of Mrs. Pearson, she just gave her a warning that if you want the right place for yourself and your family, then you have to make efforts for it. और वो efforts सिर्फ काम करने में नहीं है कि जिसने जो आया और आपने वो काम कर दिया, in just taking orders, no, in putting down the orders also, in fighting, in raising your voice against injustice. So this is very important. कि whatever, कहीं भी अगर कुछ गलत हो रहा है, then you should have the courage, okay? That courage should be there in raising your voice against injustice. So that is the kind of injustice, that the lady of the house was being given. So this is very important. ये aspect I think all of us should have in our personalities, कि whatever wrong is being done to us, जो कुछ भी गलत हो रहा है, हम उसके खिलाफ, हम उसके अगेंस्ट एक आवाज उठा सकें. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दैट यू नीड टू नो वेरी वेल. After the change of personalities, Mrs. Fitzgerald tells Mrs. Pearson not to give any explanations. कोई explanations, कोई justifications, कोई reasons देने की जरूरत नहीं है कि why you behave like this on that particular day, and not to be timid or meek with the family. मतलब you need to put your foot down. क्योंकि अगेन दिस इज द रूल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. ये बहुत ही एक जनरल सी बात है कि जब तक हम सॉफ्ट हार्टेड होते हैं, जब तक हम टिमिड होते हैं और सबकी बात मानते हैं, तो एवरीबडी ट्राइज टू हैव देयर ओन वे विद अस. बट व्हेन वी स्ट्रांगली रेज आवर कंसर्न, जब हम स्ट्रांगली अपनी बात कहना सीख जाते हैं, देन the chances are such कि people will not take undue advantage of us. So this is what she is trying to teach Mrs. Pearson. And this is like absolutely right. So this is the most important aspect of Mrs. Fitzgerald's personality, that she knows the respect and the status that the women of the house, the lady of the house, should be allotted. What last warning did Mrs. Fitzgerald give Mrs. Pearson? So this was the warning again. उसी last answer के continuation में है. This was the warning again कि कि if you will behave again like you behaved in the past, कि you are just taking the orders from your children, you are just behaving the way your husband wants to be, suppressing all your desires, suppressing all your wishes, then you will literally become a doormat. Nobody would care for you, nobody would understand you, and they would just see you, as an object of completing their own desires. But when you tell them that what actually you want, and that too in a strict tone, so she is showing Mrs. Pearson that it is very important to be strict. आप हर समय वीक और टिमिड और सॉफ्टनेस और पोलाइटनेस लेके अपने काम नहीं करवा सकते. सो यू हैव टू बी स्ट्रिक्ट. दैट फीलिंग ऑफ स्ट्रिक्टनेस शुड बी देयर. और स्ट्रिक्ट से क्या मतलब है, यहाँ पर करेज होना चाहिए आपको अपनी बात कहने का. करेज टू से योर व्यूज, ठीक है, योर से ऑन अ मैटर. So that is what we mean by strict. That you don't take any kind of nonsense. You do not suffer in silence. It's very simple. मतलब जब तक आप जो गलत कर रहा है, तब तक आप उसे ये बताएंगे ही नहीं कि how the person is behaving is wrong. तब तक उसको पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि the person is being wrong. So that is very important. You do not suffer in silence. Whatever you are feeling, if an injustice being done to them, if you are not given the due care, if you are not given that respect, that dignity, then you have to tell them. You have to assert yourself. So you can use this word also. And Mrs. Fitzgerald, she was an assertive lady. Okay, be assertive about your feelings. बहुत important है. This is very very important. Taking charge of your life. That is what basically it is being She also told her to be confident as well as courageous, and she asked her to fight for her rights. So किसी भी तरीके की the kind of bullying, it is not at all required that you take someone's bullying, फिर चाहे वो आपके kids की तरफ से हो या husband की तरफ से हो या family में किसी और की तरफ से हो. It is very important that you say no to that bullying. Pointed out that this must be pointed. Her family realized her significance, for which she needed to maintain her family position. What you need, you have to first of all, give it to yourself. She was made to realize that nothing is above the self-respect and self-esteem of a person. This is again important. So ये keywords हैं जिनके अराउंड आप अपने आंसर्स को फ्रेम करेंगे इस चैप्टर से रिलेटेड. सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट, सेल्फ एस्टीम और डिग्निटी की जो हम बात करते हैं वो इम्पोर्टेंट है इसमें. अब ये एक लॉन्ग आंसर क्वेश्चन आपको आ सकता है इसमें कि compare and contrast the two important characters, that is Mrs. Pearson and Mrs. Fitzgerald, क्योंकि जो पूरी स्टोरी है वो that is being based around the these two main female characters. In their attitudes, they both are poles apart. That we know that they are opposites in nature. They are completely opposite. Poles apart means that only. They have a totally different nature. First of all, Mrs. Pearson, she is diffident. Diffident means shy, you can say. Soft, timid and fearful. Soft है, polite है, fearful है, मतलब she's scared कि if she says something to her kids and her husband, they would just yell at her. So that's why she puts up with all the nonsense that they throws. She obeys the orders of all family members meekly. कि जो भी कहा जाता है that you are just following it. She never questions them. So this is very important. The power of questioning. This is what the playwright is asking us to develop. कि अगर कुछ गलत हो रहा है, you need to stand up and fight for your rights. So who develops this power of questioning? Power of questioning in Mrs. Pearson, Mrs. Fitzgerald, because she is a very straightforward and confident lady. She works in her own house like a servant. She is often bullied by her husband and children. In short, she keeps on suffering quietly and hates unpleasantness. मतलब एक होता है ना कि वो डर रहता है, आप अगर आप अपनी बात कर देंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा, यू आर स्कैर्ड कि कहीं वो आपको छोड़ कर चला जाए या लाइक दिस एंड दिस. तो these are all the thoughts that are coming in her mind. So because of her soft nature. But Mrs. Fitzgerald, she is a very strong and assertive woman. She knows, how to put up her opinions. So we can say, so these are the qualities that she is having. And these are definitely required to some extent in one's personality. You have to be strong. You have to be confident. And dominating तब होना है आपको when someone is doing wrong with you. It is not mandatory that and it is not required कि आप dominating हैं हमेशा. Rather आपको dominating तब होना है when you feel that a wrong is being done to you. She is well acquainted with her rights. She demands respect and help from others. So this is what she wants from Mrs. Pearson also. She speaks her mind. Okay, she is very good at expressing her opinions. जो गलत है तो है, and she knows also that how to correct that wrong. In the play, she also establishes the identity of women as an important person. Overall, she is a true exemplar of the contemporary woman. Okay, exemplar means she shows कि किस तरीके की क्वालिटीज होनी चाहिए बेसिकली एक मॉडर्न वुमेन में, जिसको हम कहें मॉडर्न इन द ट्रू सेंस. सो वी कैन से दैट द इम्पॉर्टेंट थीम्स दैट आर बीइंग डिस्कस्ड. ओके, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सप्रेशन थीम्स. ओके, ये हमें आंसर्स हमें डिस्कस किए हैं. थीम्स ऑफ सप्रेशन. ओके, ऑपरेशन, taken for granted, lack of appreciation. these are the problems that are being talked about, and these are relevant also. So we can say that these themes or these problems are universal, okay, and these problems still hold relevant in today's context also. मतलब आज के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में भी ये सारी चीज़ें इम्पोर्टेंट हैं, क्योंकि ये ऐसा होता है, and you know, and then we need to find a proper solution for the things. So these are the themes, and how Mrs. Fitzgerald helped Mrs. Pearson in, you know, achieving that sense of self-respect and self-dignity. So I hope sense of self-respect, you know, we can say that fight, the basically the play is all about the fight for one's respect. That you need to tell people that you are feeling wrong, and next time you will not tolerate any kind of nonsense from them. So this is the lesson, and I really feel, you know, it's a very, you know, wonderful concept, wonderful story, and still and absolutely relevant either for the Indian women also, and we can talk of women in general also, क्योंकि ये generally होता है. The thing is that we need, you know, we need to tell people कि sorry, we need to tell people that yes, we are feeling wrong, and then they need to behave you know, in some kind of expected manner, जिससे कि self respect hurt ना, right? So this was the story, and I hope that you like the story, right? So we are again, you know, going to come up with another topic tomorrow. And if there are any questions that you would like to ask, please do post in the comment section. I would be more than happy to help. So here we stop, and you can attempt both short answer and long answer questions from the chapter. And please do give a thorough reading of the lesson, because you know, in that way you would be more able to attempt your answers in detail. एक तरीके का जो exactness है वो तभी आएगा जब आप अपनी स्टोरी को अच्छे से read करेंगे, okay? So do give it a reading twice or thrice for better perspectives on the themes. So here we stop. Hope it has helped. Tomorrow we are going to again